Hi guys, so this is going to be a follow-up video to the video that I did regarding women and masculinity. If you haven't seen that video, I suggest you stop watching this one and go and see that one first and then come back to this video. In addition to women of color, especially Black women, growing up in single-parent households, we also grow up in very, very predatory environments as well. And growing up in very dangerous and predatory environments always keeps us in our fight or flight nervous system. So by the time I was, in my early 40s, I had a heavily dysregulated nervous system. The very first thing that I started to do was to heal my inner father. And what that looked like for me was healing my relationship with my masculinity. I healed my root chakra. I had to create an environment of safety for myself. So one of the very first things that I did was I got myself out of the hood. I got myself out of dangerous environments and dangerous situations. Once I was able to get myself to a sense of safety, I began to work on self-sufficiency. And once I began to work on self-sufficiency and got myself stable, I was able to go internal. All of the things that had the masculine attributes, I had to heal that internally. But first, I had to give myself an external sense of safety in order to do that. Once I began to do that, I started to heal my inner girl, right? As a woman, you don't lose your inner girl. So I had to repair that internal father inside of me. I had to actually become my father to allow myself to forgive my physical father for not being there for me. And I started to do these practices, these Gestalt therapy practices where I was my inner girl talking to my inner father. What a loving, caring father say to a daughter. So I began to say those things to myself. I began to heal my inner adolescence and went through that same process and then healed my inner woman. And once I internally repaired that relationship with my internal father, my life started to change for the better. Once I changed that relationship dynamic with my internal father and healed that, I realized that I was basically living a lot of my life being independent. And I wanted to remove that in order for me to have healthy relationships with men. So rather than being an independent woman, I am a self-sufficient woman, meaning that I am not an independent woman where I look at myself independent of the masculine, right? Independent of men, meaning that I don't need a man, right? Because it took my mother and my father to create me. Rather than thinking that way, I look at myself as a self-sufficient whole woman who has balanced her masculine and feminine energy within herself, and I am looking for a masculine counterpart. Because I am no longer in a dysregulated state, meaning I'm no longer heavily in my masculine energy. When I am dating and I can tell that a man is in his healthy masculinity, now that my internal masculinity has been regulated and is calm, when I see another healthy masculine man, our nervous systems regulate and calm each other. And because my nervous system is regulated, I automatically fall back into my normal setting as a woman, being in my feminine energy. A woman will naturally yield to masculinity when she feels safe and calm. So I think that that's where a lot of men who have been trolling my comment section miss the mark. If a woman does not feel safe, you are not entitled to her femininity. There was a few comments that was left under my last video stating that this content sounds like content coming from a single woman. And to be honest with you, I'm actually dating about 4 men right now. Because I am rotational dating for marriage, this is something that is a higher skill level of dating when you are dating with purpose. It's anthropological. It's something that our ancient ancestors done. These are things that we've done in the past. So I am dating differently now. And the quality of men that I date now are top tier. Date men with higher emotional IQ because now I know what to look for in the healthy masculine because I have regulated that within myself, right? So now I know what to look for. One question that one of the men that I'm dating asked me, he says, what was something today that made you feel alive? What an emotionally intelligent question to ask. He also asked me, what is something small that always makes you smile? And the last question that he asked me, and this was something that really made me tear up as a woman, but he asked me, when was the last time you truly felt seen? These are the questions that I get asked as a woman from healthy masculine men. He also wants to do a very, very fun dating activity, and I've never heard of this before in my life. But he says that one day we're going to go out on a date and we're not going to talk. We're just going to use expressions and we're going to send each other little notes, but we're going to communicate through expression. See, these are the type of men that I bring into my life now because I know what to look for in a healthy masculine man. Ladies, please don't let people try to intimidate you and tell you that, oh, you're too masculine. I don't ever want you to think that because you grew up in a certain environment that you cannot have love and you can't have balance in your life. Trust me, I am a woman who has been through it all. I've been through my fair share of trying to figure out what's wrong with me, what am I doing wrong, and it was just that simple switch of healing my masculinity and incorporating my feminine essence within me that made me a whole and complete woman and has made me very sought after in the dating world. And not only that, having quality men in my life now that I really appreciate and appreciate me. So I'm going to go ahead and end this one. I hope that you have a wonderful day and I will see you on the next one. Bye.